Getting things started in a righteous fashion. It's Mr. Phil Cook and the Guitar Heels here live at WNCW. Sounded good, guys. Why don't we take a minute here and introduce your compatriots? We got a regular band in their room.
Yeah, basically, I formed a band to make this record, and then almost the same exact band to tour this record. And it's entirely made up of my favorite musicians that I've met and experienced music with. So I'm very happy the whole time I'm playing any live show with this band, and everyone will be able to tell that immediately. Over to my far left is my friend Tamisha Waden, who
sounded good.
Who I met I was looking for a singer for the record, and I met her while she recorded on the record, and she and I become good buds since. And everyone in my band has their own solo project. They have their own band leaders, which is so rad. So Tamisha's got her own stuff, and that's awesome. My friend Amelia Meath, standing right to my left here. I've known Amelia for probably 5, 6, 7 years now, and and we were like real quick, tight buds, and just love singing with her. And I've worked with her on a whole bunch of different stuff, but when I made the record, I knew right away that her voice was going to be all over it, which is the truth. And then my friend JT Bates over here from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
There you go, JT.
I got a chance to record with JT Bates on the Blind Boys of Alabama record a few years ago that I helped to produce, and it was such a celestial experience, to put it in really great terms, that I just knew I was going to play with him too for the rest of my life, which is great.
Well, you guys have got a solid thing going right now. Bringing up the Blind Boys, Phil, you've been associated with a whole bunch of other musicians and projects, and I just am curious, when it came time to finally get into your debut release, I mean, was this a difficult thing? Was it hard to manifest?
Yeah, it took 36 years, you know?
Yeah. It seems that way, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm curious, was there the tunes that are on Southland Mission, were any of them laying around in the back pocket, prior to actual writing sessions, or?
Yeah. In some ways, and in some trickles that I can trace some little parts of the record back to when I was 14, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a real long.
So this
time.
would certainly be pre-North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a summation of like all the influences and experiences that I've had my entire life. And I've just been, I grew up a jazz kid, and so this like spirit of spontaneity and improvisation, but also constant collaboration and group dynamics being the framework that everything has been built on since then. So even though I've haven't played a jazz gig in 20 years, it's still my basement is still that, like my house is built on that. So, I mean, I think that's where the collaboration part just comes in consistently,
I think I read someplace that you were trained on piano as a small kid, right?
Yep. I took lessons from when I was 5 until I was 25.
Right. So
Yeah.
I guess it stands out curious to me that all the material that's coming out now is string.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those life things that you just kind of find yourself playing. I think by the time I finished college and I was like, playing piano hours and hours and hours a week, for me, I just needed something totally the opposite or something totally different to like just start to do, because I became kind of trapped in the piano and for a while there, I got kind of dead ended. And so I picked up a banjo. And that was like something that I was just totally instinctual. I was just using my ear and my gut and that's all, and from there, the banjo kind of came a little bit more like guitar playing. And I don't know, I like the fact that it's just, I like the dexterity parts about finger picking, which relate to piano a lot. I think that works. And
I was
a lot of these
curious
tunes I
about
wrote on piano, and I just transferred them to guitar, and then all of a sudden the song came alive,
Does your background with the piano inform your playing on string instruments totally in some fashion? Or?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, can I play something?
Yes, absolutely.
Just as like a thing. So if I'm... say for instance, like I wrote something on the piano that was just like, it's got left hand and right hand, and so my thumb kind of in my mind translates more to like my left hand on the piano, where it's kind of maybe doing like a stride thing, and my right hand's doing more like rhythm and doing like filling in the gaps there. So where a song would be like. On the piano, adding my piano elements into my fingers. It's you know what I mean? Like, see, it kind of, there's two separate parts, my thumb and then my fingers, and I love that translation, you know, a lot.
Right. You're no charge for the guitar lesson there, kids. That's a free one. So, were you working in banjo and guitar before you came to Carolina, or was that something that you assumed when you got here and you found Appalachian sounds were appealing? And
I bought a banjo right when I graduated college, and I moved, and I started to learn it, and then we moved here like within the year of me finishing my degree, which took me only 7 years, so it's fine.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, I had it with me, and then I just started meeting all these really great musicians down here, which was awesome. I mean, people have banjos and fiddles laying around their house in North Carolina, which I just love. You know, for me, growing up in Wisconsin, in northern Wisconsin, and you know, my dad plays accordion, which is the banjo of the Wisconsin, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
My
nice.
dad plays the accordion. And so, I mean, I grew up with that sitting around the house. But, like, I mean, my friends' parents, I mean, maybe they would have an acoustic guitar. But those other folk instruments, those are like bluegrass and Appalachian instruments, those were sitting around my friends' parents' houses at all. You know, that was something that, and I just love that about here, that it's so functional here. It's just a part of the water.
It's the culture. It is the culture. So I guess by association, we can assume that if I were to go visiting homes in Wisconsin, that there would be an accordion laying on everybody's couch, right?
Whoa! I mean, yeah, that vision just gave me a crazy, like, this blizzard's coming, and then I thought about accordions covering every couch in Wisconsin. And I was
Very
like,
nice.
Whoa, whoa!
It's polka time down south, kids. We're chatting with Phil Cook and the Guitar Heels. They've got a show tonight in West Asheville at the Mothlight, and we're going to see if we can't get another tune just as soon as Phil gets his instrument there worked up.